What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of J&B Unsupervised. And for our drinks today, my man went and got Welch's juice, 6% alcohol. He gave me
grape juice.
Yep. We got
and then Welch's cranberry. They have a couple other flavors, but
he'd already had these ones, so these ones were my first time trying them. I got my own cups, so you'll see me sipping on them throughout the thing. But
not the cranberry. He's not a big fan of the cranberry.
Not a big fan of the cranberry. I definitely am a big fan of this one, but I like grape anyway, so I'm not really surprised at that. But I recommend them both. I would say both of them are definitely an 8.5 out of 10 in my personal opinion. He had already had them.
I'm not a big juice person. Like, they taste kind of just like their actual juice. So Welch's really
just don't fuck up and give them to your kids by mistake, thinking, "Oh, you can grab a juice." Like, nah,
and
it's
they
not.
got Welch's grape juice.
Yeah.
Welch's cranberry.
Like,
I mean, if you have a UTI. I mean, cranberry juice and get a little buzz. Like, there you go. Like,
but you don't taste the alcohol at all on any of it. Like, so I'm not surprised though. But
it's not even carbonated.
Nope.
Which was I was surprised, and it didn't really. It's not a.
How much did those cost?
About $10 for a 4-pack.
$10 for a 4-pack. Did they come together or individual?
Individual 4-packs.
Okay, there you go. So that's good.
That's not too bad. So you get to kind of pick, but I mean, they said they're made with real fruit juice, ready to go, ready to drink. Pour on ice, or have the cans frozen cold.
But our other drink we had been seeing swirl on social media.
Yeah, rum chata, coconut cream, which is around about $25 ish for this 750 milliliter bottle.
Yep.
And we mixed it
with
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. Now make sure you do the Dr. Pepper first.
Yeah, you want to pour your Dr. Pepper first, otherwise it gets very foamy. So a little heads up.
Yep.
Unless you have like a little shaker, then you're good to go. But I really like it. He thinks it tastes like Pebbles cereal, which is kind of weird.
That's not what I said. I said to me it's got like that. To me personally, I think it tastes like kind of like homemade ice cream. Like, you know how your parents used to have like that thing and make ice cream, fresh vanilla ice cream. It's kind of
tastes kind of like vanilla ice cream to me.
That's basically what
vanilla ice cream had a flavor. Because obviously vanilla ice cream is just kind of bland, but sometimes you get a little flavor.
Well, we were very curious because we've seen a bunch of videos of this one, but no one's really said what they thought it tastes like. They just said, like, it just has you wanting more. Now, granted, it does have you wanting more.
Oh,
I definitely said, like, I'm a 9.5 out of 10, damn near it's a 10.
I would say it's an 8 for me, not because of how the taste, solely based off of how you have to, like, making it is a kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Because it does get very foamy.
That's why that's why we recommend you do the Dr. Pepper first, and then
kind of pour it in, and then pour it in.
But no, we'd been, like I said, we had been seeing it swirl around, and he decided to go get it for our drink today, and honestly, not bad at all. Like, definitely recommend trying it.
I'm surprised you didn't pick.
Well, no, not really. I'm not surprised either.
No. But like I said, it's very good. If you're a big rum chata fan.
Yep.
Because there's other rum chatas out there, but rum chata, coconut cream with Dr. Pepper.
Go try it.
Maybe even like a root beer would be pretty interesting as well.
Give you that like kind of root beer float type of maybe. I would be very curious. Maybe next time I'll have to try that one. We'll let you guys know. But moving into the sports world, before we get into our main content that we're going in today, we have some news in the NBA. Russell Westbrook was traded to the Utah Jazz again. And he's been waived by the Jazz again. Well, he's about to be waived. And he's
going to be bought out.
And he's going to be signing with the Denver Nuggets. Joker really wanted him. They could not get a trade done between the two. Well, they got a trade, not with Denver and LA. They couldn't get that trade done. So he's going to the Jazz. Going to be bought out, and he's going to be signing with the Denver Nuggets. Now, I don't know how well that's going to work. I'm skeptical, but Joker really wanted it. He's definitely going to be coming off the bench.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, just another great player that Russell Westbrook has played with in his career. Now, at this point, Westbrook's just trying to get a ring. I mean, I don't blame him. Like, a ring will definitely make you look at him differently regardless of how he gets the ring in his role. Like, it just
depends where you view him, but if he gets a ring or...
So, I mean, he's completed everything you can think about in basketball. He's triple-doubles, MVP, multiple all-team pro. So,
I mean, he was definitely the first triple-double king, and then Joker came along.
And then in other news in basketball world, shifting to the WNBA, All-Star Weekend for them is this weekend. The three-point contest was announced, and two names were missing off of it. Sabrina and Caitlin Clark were not on it. And it had the internet buzzing. People had questions. We needed answers. And then it came out that the WNBA offered and they declined. And to me, as the WNBA, you can't take that as an answer. You have to offer up whatever needs to be offered up to at least get, like my man said, at least one of them in the contest.
You don't need both, because I don't, maybe both of them didn't want to compete against each other yet.
Yes.
But like the WNBA, like you fumble that, everyone's coming out. Well, it's their choice. Yeah, but you know how much it wouldn't cost that much.
The
money
views would have been
to
insane.
Get in there, the same way Team USA really fumbled the bag or the opportunity, not really the bag, but the opportunity by having
more exposure.
Caitlin Clark
So
on the team, even as as the 12th man, like have her as the assistant coach, like on Team USA. Like, it's not going to hurt.
Other news in the WNBA. They signed a $2.2
billion deal over 11 years.
Yep.
So it's going to be a great revenue.
Yep.
For the WNBA to really kind of keep them afloat with all the streaming services, ESPN.
Yep.
So I mean that's great for them. But again, I still feel like they fumbled the bag. I do think Caitlin Clark over this past about week stretch since we last talked has kind of definitely has a couple leg up now on Angel Reese.
Just set the record for most assists. Broke the record and set it. She had 19 assists this week in a game. Obviously they fell short, but she had 25 and 19 assists. 25 points and 19 assists. She should have had a lot more. But like I said, sometimes her teammates are not getting
only 5 turnovers.
So but other than that, staying on the basketball Team USA, they have, I think, 2 more expedition games left before things start to get ramp up. Kevin Durant is supposed to play in one of those games, whether it be Sunday or Monday. So we'll have to see how that looks. But so far, USA is undefeated so far.
But what's your thoughts on Steve Kerr and Ant?
Man, the disconnect is unbelievable. Because to me, Ant should be in the starting lineup. And the fact that he's not is very odd to me. Steve Kerr came out and said that he wants to see Curry, LeBron, and Embiid in the starting lineup. To me, I think Anthony Davis has outshined Embiid so far. Granted, to be fair to Embiid, I don't know if he's still in shape. He was hurt.
Yeah.
And he's still trying to come back. But I just don't like Steve Kerr as the coach. You'd already elaborated on that.
I didn't like Steve Kerr last year as the Team USA, head coach. I much would rather had Eric Spoelstra, who's an assistant,
or even Ty Lue,
or Ty Lue, one of them, or even a college coach coming into the ranks. Like a Bill Self or Coach K.
They have to. I don't know. I guess for me if you don't know, the Steve Kerr and Ant go back to when Ant was in the pre-workouts of being drafted. Steve Kerr said he didn't work hard enough. He didn't think he would be that great. And, tell me you don't have a good eye, because we've been on record multiple times saying that we don't think Steve Kerr is a really good player development. Again, not to discredit him, but he did inherit a team that was already, I wouldn't say over the hill, but they were at the top starting
to peak.
Yeah, so
like I told you, I think the only player he ever developed was Draymond Green. That's what he developed was Draymond Green, whether or not it was right, wrong, or different. I think he developed him, but inherited Curry coming to his prime, Clay peaking into his prime.
Yep.
But yeah, way too many lottery picks.
Moses Moody doesn't even get playing time.
Flamed out there.
Kaminga has to go to the media to be like, why am I not getting playing time? Wiseman didn't even try to develop him into anything.
No.
And so it's been...
Well, it's sad, though, when a 40-year-old LeBron James working out in practice is impressing him, and he has to go to his other coaches, Tyler that had Braun, and Eric Spoelstra, is this normal for him?
They're like...
Yeah.
I wonder, honestly, though, what they thought when Steve Kerr said that. Because they said it nonchalant, every day. What do you mean? You're surprised that he does this? What did you think he, like we said previous couple episodes ago, what do you think he does? To sustain greatness this long and be good this long, you have to put in that type of work and that type of discipline. Because if you don't, then, you'll lose the love for the game. That's what D. Wade and Carmelo and all them have said on their podcast. it's the little things, the small details that matter to LeBron. And it also shows you why LeBron gets mad sometimes on the court and you think his demeanor is lazy. It's not his demeanor is lazy. It's because he puts in the work for you to be in the right position because he knows where you're supposed to be. If I'm his teammate, he knows where I'm supposed to be. But you as the defender, he knows where you're supposed to be. Yeah. And that's how – and so Steve Kerr's finally seeing that up close and personal. And I'm just like, what do you guys do in your practices? Like, good thing Curry wants to be great.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's baffling. It makes sense now why he can't seem to develop anybody. I mean, like, the closest thing he got to almost developing was almost finding Wiggins' switch to unlock him, and then Jordan Poole, and you jumped off the Jordan Poole train, and Clay's gone, and Draymond, I don't even really know if Draymond ever stays on the court long enough to matter. So yeah, but outside of that, moving over, the sports world, when I say sports world, video game sports are in a lot of trouble right now. Mm-hmm. Like Madden, you're in trouble. NBA 2K, you're in trouble. WWE, I hate to break it to you, you're in trouble. NASCAR, I know you don't care for NASCAR, you in trouble. I drove the wrong
UFC,
way.
You in trouble. NCAA 25 finally dropped. We were playing some of it before we came on here, and let me tell you, it's a good game. It's really good.
I think the gameplay does live up to the hype.
Now we have not started a whole lot of it yet, but seeing other people put videos and see, yeah,
no, it's the game definitely I think so far lives up to the hype. I'm very curious to get more in depth into it and playing it, but like EA Sports knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
You really wonder though why they didn't fumble in the bag so long on Madden. But like definitely like the next sports game to drop is Madden. You knew the game was going to put Madden in trouble when they tried to right out the gate bundle Madden.
Well, you go to the store and it's bundled, baby.
And I'm like, damn, like it's not even close enough for Madden to be dropping yet, and you're trying to bundle.
Like one thing we've noticed already is like the defensive side of the ball. They actually play defense where in Madden you can break a certain defender regardless if they're great or not and get a pass to. In NCAA, no, that defender's breaking on you. So
also we're not playing on like I think it's like freshman or like rookie.
We're playing on All-American,
which is just a step below Heisman. I would like to be able to get to the Heisman difficulty level playing. So keep in mind on how when you are saying how you feel about the game, like if you're cheesing it, well you're probably cheesing it if you're OR on easy or medium level difficulties. But like 2K's in trouble with this game.
Yeah,
2K's going to drop. Like we're going to get the new 2K.
Well, 2K's already trying to get you to buy it. We haven't seen a trailer yet, and we're not getting it yet. Like
and they fumble the bag on the cover athlete as well.
Yeah, like we talked about last week. Yep.
It's like 2K's in trouble. Like 2K's going to drop. Everybody that buys 2K, buy NCAA. They'll come over. They'll buy 2K, and if it's trash, if it's hot garbage, like it almost always seems it's been the past 3 to 4 years.
I guess for me, what's really amazing about the game dropping is that NCAA, EA listened to everything that we've said that's wrong with Madden, and it looks like they have made right in NCAA.
Well, they had a lot to live up to because everybody loved.
It's been 10 years.
NCAA.
It's been 10 years.
NCAA over Madden, anyways.
Back then, yep.
They could no longer make the game, and now they finally, with name, image, and likeness deals, they were finally able to make the game again, and they definitely lived up to the hype. Everything seems very fluid.
So, like I said, what game is in more trouble? Obviously, is it Madden or is it NBA 2K? Which one's in?
I think it's Madden because Madden is EA Sports. So you would like to think that because you can it's cool. So Road to Glory mode, you can take your dude, grind him out,
and then take him over
to import him into Madden and do the combine and however they're going to do that.
Yeah.
And the new Madden that's coming out.
That's why they're trying to bundle, try to get you to buy the Madden game,
that's the intriguing part.
Yeah.
You spend all this, 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 game time years grinding this dude out, and then you finally go to the pros with him. There's only kind of intriguing thing about it. I don't really have that big intentions of getting Madden, but I think really because it is EA Sports, so I don't think they're going to care if Madden flops if they have college football.
Yeah.
Kicking out all this revenue. To me, it's 2K because it's 2 different sports.
Yes.
Basketball, football. People love to play both, but if 2K is ass, This is going to go right back, and I want to grind.
Yep.
You're going to be in your
Well, you
dynasty
saw.
mode, recruiting.
Well, shoot.
Your underdog.
What was it? Wednesday? Because if you bought you got to get on 3 days early or whatnot. If you bought the one version, and I think they said like in the first hour that people got, there was like over 700,000 people on within like the first hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so knowing people complain a little bit of server problems, but not nothing where it was like I can't play the game. Like
there was like one game mode, and I think it was Dynasty, and it was down for a little bit when when the game first dropped early. It wasn't even on the release date.
No,
like 2K doesn't even have an early release date, and the game drops, and it's like, oh, sorry, we have all these bugs, or they'll do an in-season update, and they'll have issues like, oh, we fixed this, but now the net doesn't swish.
Yeah.
That was a thing this year.
I remember the net didn't move. You didn't know if that bitch went in or not. Yeah. That was a little scary.
All you see is like if you have the green, like you greened it, obviously it's green or mate, and if you see the green thing, it's like, well, I made it, like the net didn't move. Like, it just fell through.
There was always some type of bug going on in 2K and that had to be fixed. I'm like, and then the servers having connection issues is always a problem. And from everything I've seen, granted, we're just getting started, but from what we see, it don't seem like that's an issue.
And there's crossplay.
So,
yes. That's what was 2K's biggest cop out. I was like, well, it's crossplay. It's really bogging our servers down.
I'm like, if you're not ready for it, then don't do it.
Then you shouldn't.
But again, you're a multi-billion-dollar company, in my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't be having those issues. But, yeah, the sports world and video games, they're in trouble because NCAA has definitely lived up to the wait that we've been waiting for.
So far. And
I'm excited to get into it.
No one's overly complaining about it.
We going to have our own little league going on. I'm going to be repping KU. He let me have KU. He gonna have Dion.
Dion.
So
Travis Hunter went Colorado, so
he's gonna beef up their O line. Dion, if you need help how to get your O line, he's gonna be recruiting hard.
I'll show you who you need to go get. Like you got to get the overall. I'll show you who you need to go get. I got you. Like
Speaking of Colorado, what is Colorado's been the talk of college football. Obviously, college football is going to be here before the NFL. Obviously. What is your expectations this year for Dion in Colorado? Bowl game minimum? Should they you think college football playoffs? Because college football playoffs this year, on a side note, is now 12 teams, so it's expanded. You're not a big fan of that?
No, it's just you're still going to end up with the same 4 teams. Like when they expanded it to 4 teams, I was like, okay, like when you get the top 4 teams, like everyone's like, oh, but the 5th team. Yeah, not really. Like this was the first year with the 4 teams that we had some controversy.
Yep.
on who should have got it, Texas or Bama. I think they were right, and honestly, I think they were trying to. They snubbed. Some people think they snubbed Texas. Yep. I don't really think so. I mean, sure they did beat Bama, but Bama played better ball. Throughout the whole entire season, especially when it mattered the most.
But what is the expectations for the Colorado Buffaloes this year?
Well, they moved to the Big 12 this year.
Yep.
So they're going to be in a lot tougher conference. The Big 12 did lose Oklahoma to the SEC and Texas.
Yep.
But I think it's, Big 12 title game, a bowl game minimum, and they should definitely be sniffing the top 15 in the league. In the nation.
I guess for me that really bothered me last year is people were like, well, it was a failure. How was it a failure? Do you know what that team was the prior to Dion arriving? They were like, 1-11 it was? Something like that. Like they'd only won one game. And then he came in and they rattled off 3 big wins and obviously had some time. Obviously the offensive line wasn't ready and they had a lot of work to do to beef it up. But they showed flashes. Obviously Shedeur Sanders is a very promising quarterback. Mm-hmm. If he can get blocked, Travis Hunter, we know who he is on both sides of the ball. It comes down to what side of the ball do you want to see him on more, offense or defense?
I think he needs to I think he needs to be more situational offensively, but spend most of his time perfecting his craft
on the defense side of the ball.
But
But again, for me this year, you were better than what you were the previous year. This year, at least needs to be a bowl game, at least.
I mean,
and then,
at least.
So,
but I think at least they have to be sniffing the Big 12. Maybe not in the Big 12 championship game, but be right there at the very end, almost in it, and definitely be sniffing around, the top 15 to almost getting into that playoff.
So
they got to be in contention for the playoff.
Yes. So I'm excited to see what Colorado does this year. I love Dion, so I'm going to be tuning into that. But we have to talk about our KU Jayhawks.
Yeah.
Can they stay healthy? Is a big question. Can the quarterback stay healthy? What what is our expectations? I guess do we think for our Kansas Jayhawks? Is it bowl game?
Well, it's definitely a bowl game. And
I mean, they've been.
It's kind of to me the same. They've been a uprising. They've been coming up through the ranks, and they were ranked for a while this year. It's kind of same for Kansas State too. I think both of them are going to be competing for the Big 12 championship, and I think both of them you could be looking at if they're like mid-teens, like maybe like 15 to 18 range in the in the top 25.
Because I think last year I think the highest they got was 21.
Yeah, 21,
they were ranked
22.
21. So really, it comes down to can our quarterback stay healthy? That's really what it comes down to.
The backup finally, he graduated.
Yep. So we won't have that, and he did great too. So I'm holding out some hope for our KU Jayhawks on the football side. We're more known for basketball, but we are getting better. Our football program is getting better. So I'm excited for it. Hopefully, we'll be able to go catch a college football game for you guys.
They have 4 games at
So we already have announced you guys we're going to be at opening day for the Kansas City Chiefs, Thursday for the Ring. We're going to try to catch some baseball games if we can, if we can fit that in. But, yeah, definitely, hopefully we can catch
Jalen Daniels is the one that needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Quarterback. He had a bunch of back problems the past 2 years, and he kept him out all of last year. And
I was going to say, he didn't even
talk that he could have went to the draft this year, but came back, and he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks.
Well, he even said that he had unfinished business, that he needed to prove he owed it to us. So I'm happy that he's coming back. As long as he can stay healthy, dude, I think KU is going to have a good chance to do something very special this year.
I don't see one. I mean, with all the talent they have on that roster, with actually retaining their head coach, who potentially almost left.
And he said he didn't want to leave. He had no intentions on leaving. So going back to the college football playoffs, like we said, it's 12 teams now. Is that everyone says it's good for the game? Do you think it's good for the game? Yes or no? Because like you said, it's literally still going to be pretty much the same teams get in.
Not really, because like every once in a while you see a 10, 12, 9, 8 seed make it to the the big game. Probably throughout the years, but even in the big, when it was just the 4, there was not a 4 seed that ever won. It was always the top 1 or 2.
I guess for me, the only reason why I have I think it's cool that you expanded it to a degree, but at the same time, the committee's gonna put in who they want to put in, and that's where I think for me, I'm not a fan of because of the committee.
Well, it's not. You don't really need the committee now. You just you can take the 12 best teams. Never going to be bitching. What about the 13th to the 14th team? They should have been the 12th team. No one's ever going to be happy until their team is in it. Like Bama would have been upset if Texas got it over them, and vice versa. So when the 13th seed doesn't get it, and they thought they deserve to get over the 12th seed, I don't care. You're going to lose anyway. Sure, you might win the first round, but you're going to get smoked in the second round. Like you're not beating the top 4 seeds. Not the top 6 really, but or 5. But you're going. It's just. Honestly, it's kind of a money grab.
It is a money grab. Speaking of money grab, I do not have it on our notes, but Oregon football.
Unlimited.
That's
what the booster said.
Unlimited money for NIL. Former Nike CEO Phil Knight.
Yeah.
I think Oregon's his automata or whatever. So. Phil Knight? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his automata. Am I saying that wrong?
You're saying that wrong. You ain't saying it right.
How's it supposed to be said?
Not like that.
I feel like I'm saying it right.
No, how you say it?
His automata.
Oh, that's not even, no.
Is it wrong?
No, you have a lot of O's in there.
That's okay. They know what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't think they do. I think they're confused.
You were confusing this.
It's a what?
It's his former place that he used to call home back in the day.
No, yes. Oh boy. Okay, yes. He pretty much said before I die, once the Oregon Ducks win a national title in football, he was pretty much saying, "Here's a blank check. Go get whoever you need to get and pay them." So
that's crazy.
We can win a national championship before I die, and I'm like, well, that's what you got NIL money for. You gotta have better boosters.
Good thing there ain't tampering no more. Good hell.
Well,
woo!
Reggie Bush got his Heisman back. So
Reggie got his Heisman back, thankfully. Well deserved.
I'm still waiting to hear they put back like the records for all.
Well, they had to because they gave him his Heisman back. They have to put all the records in. I would assume so.
I haven't heard anything about that, so like I'm quite curious to see if they reinstated all those records that he broke and those teams all those wins.
Pretty much. To me, anything that has to do with stuff like that, I think needs to be overturned when it comes to stuff like that, personally.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, schools have been paying players. Remember when Aiden came into the league in the NBA? He was given, over $10K from Arizona to play there? Mm-hmm. Like, players have gotten paid, regardless. Dating back to the start of time, I'm assuming. Like, so to sit here...
That's what happened to the SMU football program way back in the day. They ended up, a little history, they lost their football program because they were beating the Texas, the Techs, the A&Ms, and then the investigation or somebody talked, and they were giving, them, the Mustangs, the Lamborghinis, the sports cars, places to live, and money, and they got banned. They got their football program stripped.
And I just think that...
And just here recently, the past maybe 15 years ago, they finally got allowed to have a program. And I'm just not a fan of the committee and the way that they over-abuse their power. Well, the committee's pretty much gone. NCAA
to me,
is pretty much gone now.
Anything that has to do with players or teams getting in trouble because of money, I need all that stuff undone and given back, because at the end of the day, you knew it was happening, but you weren't going to say nothing until it benefited the other side of the party.
Yeah.
Because you knew about it. You can't sit here and tell me you didn't know about it. Like, even your most beloved coach, even though it pains me to say it because I don't think Bill Self has, and I'm not saying that he hasn't, but in my heart I feel like he hasn't, at some point has probably done something.
Well, you had that Nike, I think it was Adidas or a Nike scandal that they had.
Yeah.
But it wasn't him, it was like an assistant.
Yeah, it was the assistant.
On the staff that got caught doing it. And he was found innocent, and he didn't have any.
And the NCAA still,
but he still was shit. He got held accountable because he should have known. But it's just funny when you talk about the NCAA body when we had. I can't remember the guy we had. I think it was 3 years ago that we made it to the Sweet 16 and the Sweet 8.
And he never played.
And it was he played, didn't play. And we kept asking is he eligible? Not eligible. Finally, oh no, he's eligible. He's good to go. He played, and then we got bumped in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. And then just like last year, they stripped all those wins, and
I'm not a fan of that
because we played him. We're like, you told us that he could play. He was eligible to play. That he was free and clear, and then
that's my biggest problem with the committee. I just think a lot of those that have to do with money. Even thinking back to the Fab Five at Michigan with the whole Chris Webber, getting money from a booster to get tacos and stuff to eat. They punished the Fab Five for that. Like they didn't have no money.
Well, then you even before.
And you take away all those. No, give all that shit back, man, because. Again, it only the committee only does it when it benefits them because they don't like being overshadowed. Like you said, to me, I think the committee should be pretty much
Well, it doesn't really exist anymore because
literally the schools can literally pay the money directly now.
The school pays them based off their boosters.
Yes.
It was former athletes or former students that have gone.
They've been doing it for years anyway.
But now they can legally do it, and companies can come hey, you come here. Give you a Lambo.
Bro, literally Texas did their recruiting and literally had lines of Lamborghinis parked up for recruits as they walked in. Bro, can I go back to school? Please,
That's my thing. Was the NCAA body's pretty much null and void. They don't really need them. You might as well have the conferences govern themselves at this point.
Pretty much.
Because I don't need you telling me what to do and how to run my money.
Pretty much. But college football is getting closer. That's going to be exciting. A lot of things are going to happen in college football. Teams moving conferences.
Well, how do you feel about Bama?
Nick Saban's gone now. First year without Nick Saban. That's going to be very interesting. Nick Saban's been the coach for them since 2007. So the new coach was the former Washington State coach. I can't remember his name. What's the...
Callan Deaver.
Yeah.
Callan Deaver.
He was at Washington last year because he played in the national championship game. Mm-hmm. So and they obviously got smacked. And but he's taken over for Nick Saban now. Nick, from my understanding, Nick Saban's still going to be a part of the program, still have a voice, but to me that's going to be hard because how can you have a voice there, but you're not the coach? Like, to me, that's got to be.
I think it's more like kind of how the programs ran and how like his input on how he feels like the staff is doing.
The bigger question is going to be: is Alabama going to fall off now?
I don't think Alabama won't be what they were under Saban, but like it's hard to say they're going to fall off because the program's already built. It's literally like, here, I'm giving you a Ferrari. And everything's done to it. It's all been souped up. Just don't crash it.
Pretty much.
Like,
that's really what
ruin it because you have all the facilities. They have all the money. They're the biggest, outside of Georgia, which is in the other conference in the SEC. They're the big dogs.
Yeah.
In the ACC, Clemson, they completely fell off. Like Debo who? Like,
yeah, they haven't been in the college playoffs in last 4 years. So he's got something to prove.
Ever since Deshaun Watson left.
So Trevor Lawrence too. Because remember, he had Trevor Lawrence. It went Deshaun, then Trevor Lawrence, and then it has kind of been trash. Kind of like how they've both been in the NFL. Trash.
Well, Deshaun Watson actually looked better than Trevor Lawrence, but here recently, Deshaun Watson has been kind of sus. But he had his first. Well, he didn't even play a full season last year.
Nope, got hurt.
All the allegations.
Now that's all pretty much
behind him.
Hopefully, this will be the year we can really truly see. Can you still be that dude you were in Houston?
How much motivation How much motivation does he really have though to try to get back to that former self, or to stay in shape, or to really try when he has a fully guaranteed contract?
You're not wrong.
So bro, you cut him, you still got to pay him all that money every year.
Yep. Switching over to the NFL talk, Caleb Williams finally signed his rookie deal after holding out. Remember, Caleb Williams does not have an agent, but he has people that are handling it, so I'm assuming family, friends, somebody. He signed his deal. It's 4 years, $39 million. The fifth year is a team option, and he's getting a $25.5 million signing bonus. He is going into what we consider the best situation a number one pick has ever really entered. Mm-hmm. He's got Rome that they drafted in the first round. Keegan Allen, who they got from the Chargers. DJ Moore, who they acquired the previous year for the number one overall pick. He's got a running back. The defense is improved. The offensive line is a little bit proved up. What will Caleb Williams do in year one? What are the expectations?
Well,
granted, because he is a rookie.
But he's a rookie. But he's come in. I don't think anybody could ever debunk that he's come into the best situation ever. A first overall pick has ever had at quarterback.
Pretty much.
So
he's got weapons out the gate. Established weapons and a rookie that can be a dominant weapon as well.
It still comes back to the coaching staff though.
Yes.
In the right position. I'm still they're not winning their division. I still think Jordan Love and the Packers.
Yeah, I think it's
are going to probably still take that division. But in the Minnesota Vikings, they have also now a rookie potentially starting there. But I have them at best close
9-8.
Yeah, something probably.
That's kind of like where I'm leaning, 9-8.
Maybe 7 wins. They're not a playoff team.
To me, it can't be anything lower than 7 wins.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was less than 7 wins because I'm not that high on Caleb Williams.
Well, I'm not. I would say, obviously he has the talent, but it comes to me the mentality because the era of players we're getting now into the NFL, they're the NIL children. They've been spoiled. Caleb Williams literally was living in a penthouse in college.
They're money. That's great, but he didn't really ever achieve anything. And he had talent at USC, sure, but I don't know how much the Bears organization.
Well, he went from a Heisman winner to completely out of the Heisman race, so he's had ups and lows.
Going from USC, well, he was originally Oklahoma. Went to USC, now got drafted, and he's at the Bears. It's cold there. He's never really played in the cold. It's very cold. I don't really trust the Bears organization as a whole.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff there is to be proven that they can actually develop a guy.
To me, that's where the disconnect. I do believe in his talent. Now the question becomes the mentality that he will have as a player and willing to get better. But it also comes down to the organization from top to bottom. I don't believe in the organization at all. Like, on a scale of like 1 to anything, it's still 0. This is how much I believe in Chicago.
I don't really have much.
To me, they really need to. If it starts out, to me personally, if they start out like 2-2 or 1-3 or like 2-5, the head coach got to be fired quickly. Like you have to move. And Bill Belichick has said he would like to come back and coach. And to me, if you're Chicago, that would be.
No, that's not going to work with Caleb Williams. That dude's going to cry. That dude's going to force his way out. There's no way
I just don't. They have to.
By him.
They have to go and grab somebody, that is can.
Yes or no? They have a winning record if Justin Fields is still there.
I wish Justin Fields was still there with this roster. Yes, I think they would. Yes,
I think they would be a playoff team. I think they would be. I think they'd be
because to me, it is so fucked up that you never did anything for Justin Fields, and you had the ability.
Got more.
Well, they did that, but what they did to the roster, and then you ship him off, and then look what they obviously taken away that they drafted Caleb. They got a wide receiver in the draft as well that we didn't expect them to get, Rome, out of Washington State.
He has weapons.
I would have just loved to have seen it, but I like I said, at best 9-8. To me, I think nothing less than 7.
At best, maybe 7. At best, 7 wins.
So
they're going to be picking in the top 10 again.
Possibly.
Not impossible. They'll be picking the top 10 again.
So
do you feel that way because Justin Fields has time in the league? Or you just think, because everyone says Caleb Williams has a lot more upside than what Justin Fields has.
I think Justin Fields has a lot of upside. I just think, again, it came down to the organization being trash. Horrible. I think Justin Fields has a lot of talent, and we're starting to see people. It's been reported that Justin Fields has struggled with the Steelers, but it's because of the habit. He's tried to do his best to work out, but it's the habits that he learned in Chicago that Pittsburgh is now trying to
make him unlearn.
And that's hard because he's been in the league.
Well, it's some habits. I also think it's like how he's been taught and how he's been trained. And with Chicago is completely different than the guys with.
You're going to Mike Tomlin.
The structure is different. But also that's why I like Justin Fields sitting behind Russell Wilson, not getting the starting job. Compete, he could compete. Justin Fields is going to look better than Russell Wilson, but Justin Fields will make more mistakes. But I like Russell Wilson holding down that job, and at some point
because it just helps Fields so much.
Over. But honestly, if Fields didn't see the field at all, if Fields didn't see the field at all, so that's 4 times fast.
No,
I would not be mad at him or think any other thing left of the talent more than that. They're literally finally giving him that rookie or his redshirt year to really sit and develop behind.
He's getting LeBron. He's getting LeBron year when he went to Miami. He's finally going to learn how to win, and just in a different way.
He's finally going to learn how to play quarterback in the NFL when it's just not run. Because he reminds me a lot of a Jalen Hurts and a Lamar Jackson put together.
Yeah,
he has the escapability of both of them. But a better arm than Lamar.
To me,
closer to Hurts.
I think Justin Fields' upside, he has the ability to be a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League, wherever that lies. I'm not saying he's going to be top 3, but top 10.
I think
Caleb Williams, I think, has the ability to be there too, but I don't know if I trust in his mentality because, again, he's had money, he's had the taste.
Well, a lot of players come in that have had money, but I think it comes down to I don't know how coachable he is.
And that's always been an issue. And again, his parents, mom, his group are heavily involved. And we've seen how bad, regardless of what sport you're in, how bad that sometimes can be a problem.
I just feel like it comes off, I think, to some people.
I mean, he literally got drafted, and one of his teammates literally said, "We don't play that bullshit," then had to, rebuttal, fix it. But we all know what he really meant. We're not gonna do that around here. No. So again, I'm curious to see what his rookie year looks like because again, he's coming into the best situation a number 1 overall quarterback has ever came into in their entire life.
Offense, defense.
Another quarterback that was a lottery pick. He was a 10th overall pick. J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan signed his deal, but is now willing to hold out because he wants his full signing bonus up front. Now, I don't know what that signing bonus is on any stretch, but he's willing to hold out over a fucking signing bonus. He wants it all. He wants it all up front, and he was the 10th overall pick.
I have a problem. He's the 10th overall pick, honestly.
Well, Sean Payton really hyped the shit out of him. So did Jim Harbaugh. Everyone, like, you realize, like, you guys remember when we were coming to the draft, everyone thought for sure, like, is Harbaugh going to trade Justin Herbert and go get J.J. McCarthy? Like, we thought that shit might have happened.
Well, they tried. They just the ownership wasn't willing.
Ownership said no, we're not doing that.
Dead money.
No,
and which would have been a lot of dead money because they just literally paid the dude like 2 years ago. So not going to eat all that dead money. So that's why I thought possibly it could happen because we saw Russell Wilson get cut and the Broncos eat all that dead cap. So anything's ever possible in the NFL. But I don't have overly high hopes. To me, he's like a Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, honestly, to me, I think that's a fair comparison. I think you're being a little generous. Are you okay?
Well,
you're being a little nice. You're a little nice over there.
I think he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo in Garoppolo's prime. Honestly.
Tell that to Devontae Adams who had him benched.
Well,
signed off on it.
Well, when you use Aaron Rodgers, it is a skill gap. Garoppolo's not going to win you games. He'll be able to manage it, and you have to scheme to win.
To me, though, J.J. McCarthy, his throwing mechanics, they're going to need a lot of work. And you got to think about it, too.
You didn't have to really win games.
No.
You're going to have to put it in tight windows in the NFL. You're going to have to win.
Harbaugh had a running. Harbaugh's offense was running. He didn't really have to throw the whole lot.
Not Minnesota.
No, you got Justin Jefferson over there.
You have Jefferson. You have T.J. Hawkinson. You have Addison.
They got Jones from the Packers.
Yeah, they want to air it out.
So they have guys that you're going to throw to. Now, granted, I think Sam Darnold is going to be the starting quarterback.
Oh, yeah, I think Sam Darnold. And to me, I don't necessarily know. Like, Sam Darnold got ruined by the Jets, and then he gets to spend some time bouncing around. And I think it was a good year for him spending with the Niners.
Absolutely.
But, I would be hard-pressed to say if J.J. McCarthy ever surpasses Sam Darnold for the starting job.
I don't think he will.
I think he'll be given the starting job more than actually outperform Sam Darnold. I could be wrong, and Sam Darnold could just see ghosts again.
True.
Which is
because if you guys don't remember, when Sam Darnold came into the league out of USC, he was the most NFL ready, had the body, had the talent, and it went to the Jets, and it plummeted hard. But again, it was the Jets, and to his point, but he just, again, situations also really matter. It's unfortunate. Think about how great Andrew Luck was, and offense. They couldn't get him an offensive line, and the dude was dying out there. Yeah. You thought Joe Burrow was getting killed. No, Andrew Luck was getting absolutely murdered on the football field.
The difference is they have tried to make the line better for Burrow when they just said, fuck it, dude.
You're Andrew Luck. You can just throw it.
But that's kind of unfair. Andrew Luck would have been successful wherever he went.
True.
But at the position at quarterback, it really matters where you land in the scheme, in the staff, and the organization. Because you say Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, potentially budding Tom Brady for the GOAT debate
already.
But if he would have landed somewhere else, the Bears or Cleveland, I don't think it's the same. Mahomes, I think he's definitely.
But he landed Mahomes landed with the Chiefs, landed with Alex Smith, who's a pro's pro. And I really wish we could have had Alex Smith as a backup quarterback for one of our Super Bowl wins because I would have loved just something because he deserved a Super Bowl ring because he helped develop Patrick Mahomes, helped Patrick Mahomes achieve what was coming. He unlocked it. He helped him get there.
It's slightly unfair because Mahomes grew up in a locker room, so he knew what was expected, but I think
Alex Smith didn't have a problem. He was willing to teach him anything, like Mahomes said. He owes a lot to Alex Smith because Alex went out of his way to make sure. And you don't get that a lot. Ask Jordan Love. Ask Aaron Rodgers because Brett Favre didn't do it for Rodgers. Rodgers didn't do it for Love. A lot of these quarterbacks won't do it. And so Patrick got lucky and landed with Alex Smith, who was a pro and helped.
He had a great year that year.
He did.
He was a rookie. He had to be a little hesitant. This dude had a great year. Do we make that change? You had to sit there and kind of think for a little bit. Obviously, they did, and then Mahomes goes out and throws for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
MVP.
And MVP and
AFC and
championship
that's
game
where
loss.
We always are.
That shouldn't have been, Might as well call it Arrowhead Invitational at this point.
So, staying on sports.
We changed off sports.
Well, no, but
So
we're moving
changing
to
off sports.
we're moving to TV. Skip Bayless is leaving FS1 Fox after 8 years on Undisputed. Finally leaving TV. And look, Skip Bayless obviously has helped.
You send me his podcast, I'm gonna punch you.
No, I'm not.
You send me his podcast. You send me whatever little.
No.
Thing
Again,
he's doing. I'm gonna punch
Skip
you.
has been in media and he's helped a lot of guys like from Stephen A. Smith down to Shannon Sharp, but he's always burned those bridges, even though he's helped a lot of people get their start. But I'm just finally happy he's off TV because
Dude's dumb.
he has, even with some of the great takes he also has a shit ton of like horrible takes. He's one of the biggest haters. He's one of the biggest haters in sports media ever. Like he's not willing to give credit to anything on any level. And he's always trying to downplay anything when it comes to Michael Jordan or Tom Brady. Like you have to evolve and give the new generation some type of credit. And he's not willing to do any of that.
He's one of those dudes that doesn't like to sit there and sit back and just enjoy watching greatness unfold. And instead, he wants to be one of those dudes that just hates on it.
And
no
to
matter
be fair,
how wrong he knows he is, he's going to sit there and die on that sword. I'm like, good, leave.
Well, it wasn't a good look when the whole Shannon Sharp stuff happened. What he did to Shannon Sharp.
Well, I don't think he likes to be showed up. Like, I think Shannon Sharp turned into a bigger star than him, and he felt somehow probably betrayed because. I brought you in and I vouched for you, and then you pretty much outgrow him and outshine him.
He did.
And
but it came out that ESPN does not want him. Nobody, I don't think, really wants him. So I think it's just he's going to be doing his podcast, and that's it. So
he should have zero views. Cowboy fans will subscribe.
But probably moving on to the final segment of our podcast today, we have moved into giving you our top 5 positions in the NFL. We are starting with the wide receiver position today. Mm-hmm. I got my list in my pocket. I got my 5. Who's going to go first? Who?
Well, you want to go back and forth?
We can do that. We can go for. I'll let you go first.
You want to go? You got to go 5.
We start from the bottom and work our way up.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I just can't give you the chair right off the top.
All right. So, all right. Let's go. Let's go. All right. You want me? I'll start it off. At number 5. I have Devontae Adams at number 5.
At number 5, you have Devontae Adams. At number 5, best wide receiver in the league, I have Amon St. Brown.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
You can't beat it.
No, you cannot. At number 4 for me, top wide receivers, I have Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, see, number 4. Like I said, before we even started this, I told him it's okay to have your opinion. It's okay to be wrong. So far, he's been wrong. But guys, we'll see how we end up. But number 4 for me, CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
Outside of his rookie year, he's always had 1,000 yards.
Number 3 for me, amon-ra St. Brown. I have at number 3.
Ooh, one good year and you put him up that high over those two?
I think, I also go off last year as well, how he performed. And he also he played injured pretty much after week 4. Tore it right off his bones.
So does everybody.
Well, I just...
At 3, I have Devontae Adams.
That's fair. At number 2, I have CeeDee Lamb.
At number 2, you have CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah,
I didn't know you were a Cowboys fan like that.
Well, I have to give him...
Because I know nobody for Cowboys taking CeeDee Lamb over to my number 2 pick of Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Number 1, Justin Jefferson.
No, Mike Evans.
No, not even a little bit.
No, it's Justin Jefferson. Really, it's Jefferson, and then there's probably... there's definitely a little bit of a
to me,
but you're wrong. Like it's cool to see that you're wrong because you're not taking Jefferson is a clear-cut 1. 2, you have CeeDee Lamb. You really think CeeDee Lamb's more impactful than Tyreek Hill?
I think Tyreek Hill cost the Dolphins more last year. Fumbles, drop passes. He's dropping more passes, even more. His drop rate is getting even worse, in my opinion.
I mean, he's always been someone.
Like the head coach said, we paid you all this money to come here and help us win, and you're popping out more kids, and we are Super Bowl.
Great. So the past 2 years he's been with the Dolphins, 119 catches both years, over 1,700. He almost had 1,800 yards last year. Had 1,710 yards in 2022. CeeDee Lamb had 135 catches for 1,750 yards.
But didn't he have like
Previous year,
100? He had 180.
He had a shit ton of fucking targets though.
He does.
He's the only guy.
Well, Dak is going to throw it to
that
him.
He was that. Had to be that.
He finally
dude.
was featured.
And
Finally.
the previous year, 107 catches for a little over 1,300 yards.
Again, I did my list. A lot of my list also factored in how they played last year. I took that into a little bit of consideration
Yeah,
as
Tyreek Hill
well.
outperformed. Tyreek Hill was on pace to have almost 2,000 yards. Just to talk about drops, that's great. But the dude almost had 2,000 yards with Tua throwing him the ball. If he had Dak that could throw the ball 60 yards and Tua can only throw it 50.
Yes.
Because you're talking about the cold game with the Miami came to Arrowhead.
He got strapped.
I mean, he did get a tutty. But I can't help Tua can't push the ball down the field, and I can't help the Chiefs secondary locked him up. The Chiefs secondary would have locked up CD Lamb.
Well, yes.
So that game is a little unfair.
The reason I'll tell you why I have my guys where they at. I'm going to start at 1.
So one. We understand 1.
Well, the reason 1 is because he literally played 8 games and still had 1,000 yards. It's Justin Jefferson.
Nobody can dispute that one. 2, you're wrong, but why do you got CD Lamb there?
I just think CD finally... For me, it was the breakout year we had been looking for CD Lamb since he came out of college. It was finally, he got featured.
He has 3 years already over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, but he was still never really the featured dude before last year. He finally got to show why that's why he's about to help me get. He's the reason why I'm about to get a free bottle of Crown from you because he's gonna become the highest paid wide receiver. Justin Jefferson. He's my hope for a free Crown bottle right now. So.
Well, he's not the only hope.
No, there's some other guys.
It was Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is still out there.
And you don't even have Jamar Chase in your top 5.
No, fuck Jamar Chase, dude.
Ooh, damn.
He's not in your top 5 either, bitch.
I don't have him getting paid over Justin Jefferson.
Well, but I just don't think Jamar Chase is a top 5 wide receiver. I know other people might have him in the top 5. He's not in my top 5.
Well, the Bengals fans probably have him 1.
Because they're delusional.
But they're like Cowboys fans.
Like
you.
If Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are on the same team, Jefferson's still the number 1 option. Jamar Chase is a number 2.
Jefferson has a route tree, and literally Jamar Chase has a go route and a slant. Ooh, dude.
He is the Kroger version of Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's Dylan's, and Jamar Chase is Kroger.
No, Jamar Chase is the Kroger version of Devontae Adams. He's what he wishes he could be Devontae Adams.
Well. Yeah.
It's really their body type and their speed really, to me, that's kind of what they look like to me. When Justin Jefferson, he gives me more faster, he's a little bit smaller but faster, T.O., Randy Moss.
And again, and the reason Jamar Chase's numbers are because Joe Burrow, literally, that's the guy that gets the ball.
Well, I mean, these guys all are number 1. Okay, so that's 2. So you're wrong on 2. I'm right with Tyreek Hill being at number 2. 3, I have Devontae Adams. And you had
St. Brown.
Amon St. Brown. I'm not mad at Amon St. Brown, but he kind of finally flashed onto the scene finally.
Yes.
I mean, Amon St. Brown.
He did get paid this year.
He finally got paid. 119 catches, 1,515 yards. He's cracked 1,000 yards twice. I mean, he's only been.
Granted, he's gonna
in the league.
The expectations for me this year for him are very high. I'm gonna need you to do it again, really, obviously.
The Lions in general.
Yes.
But
I'm pulling for you, Lions, on the NFC side. I'm pulling for you, dog. Outside of you playing Kansas City, I'm pulling for you.
Devontae Adams still had 103 catches for 1,144 yards with no quarterback.
Yes.
Again, no quarterback.
Again.
He literally came out and said on the Netflix series that's about to drop for wide receiver.
You're trying to fucking kill me.
Get me the fuck out of here.
You're gonna kill me. I'm taking hits.
Rumor has it that he's could potentially be traded to the Jets.
So number 3, you had.
3, you have Adams.
You had Adams, so.
And then 4.
I had Tyreek Hill.
Which is wrong, but again, he's top 5 wide receiver, but it's wrong because he's the only guy that's not a big body, I'm going to out-jump you kind of guy. I mean, Amon St. Brown's really not that, but.
I like St. Brown's route tree. He's really improved his route running. Oh, hi, you babies. His route running, his catching. And so, again, I'm going to need St. Brown to do it again, obviously.
You know who strikes fear? If you play Madden, who you scared more when you see the lineup? Tyreek Hill or Amon St. Brown?
In the video game, Tyreek Hill, motherfucker.
There's no way, even in the video game, even in real life, if you had to go across and you're a top 5 corner, I'm going to take Amon St. Brown over trying to fucking strap up Tyreek Hill. If I had to choose one. So now you're like, I guess I am wrong. So it's okay.
I just think that Tyreek and Devontae Adams had down years for what they're supposed to be. If Devontae
Tyreek Hill had a down year.
I just don't. I think he's
missed a couple of games.
Yeah, because he's too busy out getting women pregnant. Like
he's trying to skip out on that child support.
Dude out here dude wanted to retire after 10 years. He's gonna need to play another 10 years.
Tyreek Hill, you say he had a down year, but he had the exact same amount of catches. He had more tutties, and he had about 800 more yards, or 880 more yards. But that's a down year, boy.
He got extra games to do it.
He missed a couple games.
And the NFL about to give another game here soon.
And a lot of these players aren't going to play in those games.
Like, they're about to give extra games.
They're going to give me an extra bye week.
Devontae, again, the list, to me, outside of Justin Jefferson being number 1, I don't think that'll ever change. Now, 2 through 5, and the guys that are not in the top 5, I think can change. I think Devontae can move up. I don't know if Tyreek is going to move up. I think he's going to stay about the same. St. Brown could fall out. I think Adams has the potential to move up, especially if he gets out of Oakland or out of Raiders.
It has more likely to fall out of the top 5 than he does to stay in the top 5.
So,
he's 31 years old. Wide receivers don't age very well.
So, and he's made it pretty clear if I'm going to reunite with somebody, he wants to reunite with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you got to think. Jefferson has 4 years in the league, going on 5.
You got to think about some of the wide receivers that are not in top 5.
Going into his 5th year.
Like,
St. Brown's going into his 4th year.
Yeah. Like, you can think about names that we didn't say. A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith. A guy that I'm really intrigued to see play in his rookie season, Marvin Harrison Jr. Sucks I can't get his goddamn jersey because the motherfucker won't sign the deal, so we're just going to be out here not getting...
So you get it from Athletics.
So there's just a lot of wide receivers right now. So
and then at 5, you do have Devontae Adams, where I have a St. Brown, because again he's had 2 really good really 3 great years.
I did say that he's got to. I need him to do it again, and it's going to be.
You think that St. Brown could fall out and Devontae Adams could kind of stay in there, but you have him at 5. 5 is like a fringe 6. Yeah, well, like I said, it's okay that you're wrong.
I think it's a fair list. I think it's a fair list.
Well, it's a fair. Any list can be fair. Necessarily, if it's right or wrong, I don't really know. But that's up to you guys to decide, because it's wrong.
Speaking of wide receivers, the San Francisco 49ers got a situation on their hands. Brandon Ayuk has requested a trade. He don't want to be there. They haven't had. You said they hadn't had contract talk since May.
April.
Oh, so where will Brandon Ayuk go? Let us know what you guys think.
Or does he stay there and they move up and they move Deebo Samuels?
But they're moving one of them. I don't know who it's going to be.
Well, if you were them, who would you move and who would you keep?
Deebo.
Obviously, Deebo's been paid. You got to try to. You got to then.
To me, Brandon again. Deebo is like a Swiss Army knife, where Brandon Ayuk he's the complete package at wide receiver.
Brandon Ayuk gives you a lot of flashes of what Amon St. Brown, Devontae Adams type. Skill level.
He's big body, strong, make the aggressive catch.
And he can do the full route tree.
He's got the full route tree.
Deebo
so
Samuels is
Deebo does not have. He does not have the route tree.
Who would you rather have, Deebo Samuels or Jalen Waddle? Both kind of Swiss Army knife kind of guys. Jalen Waddle was kind of banged up last year. That's a little bit tough. But
take injuries out of it and just their overall. I would want.
Well, they're both injury prone.
Yeah, I would take Waddle. I would take Waddle.
I think Waddle has a better route tree than Deebo Samuels.
That's the only reason, because when it comes to Deebo, it's literally the same shit. That's why he got strapped up twice in the Super Bowl that he's been there.
That's why they tried to put him in as a running back so much.
And he didn't want to do it. He's like, I'm a wide receiver. No, you're really not. You're a Swiss Army knife that can do a little bit of everything, and that's what we need you to do. And he's not willing to do the extra dirty work. And so that's why.
Well, they kind of drafted a guy in my mind to
out of Florida. That dude, nice. He got a great. He can replace Deebo. That's why I say Deebo got to go.
He has that speed like that.
To me, get rid of Deebo. 49ers, make it work with Brandon Ayuk.
All you do is pay the man. Just pay the man. Not more than Justin Jefferson.
Or do so I get my bottle of Crown, baby.
That's not a that you got. You have CeeDee Lamb and you have Jamar Chase. You can't just start adding names in there. You can add him in there, he ain't going to get it. He wants 30-31. He's not going to get it.
Bro, I would shit a chicken if Brandon Ayuk outpaid fucking just. I would be calling 49ers. What the fuck? What are you smoking over there? Because give it back.
Where's all this money you guys got?
Shit.
Where's this money?
You're not.
But unfortunately, they have to pay Brock Purdy this coming next offseason. So.
And Brock, I don't think is taking no fucking discount.
Considering he needs a fucking roommate? No.
He's been to one Super Bowl, the NFC Championship twice. Obviously got hurt in the first one. And a lot of people believe if he didn't get hurt, they would have been in the Super Bowl against Kansas City again. And they have not fared well against the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they've been up double digits twice in the Super Bowl against us and still have blew that.
Safe.
But what position are we going to be doing next week? NFL. What are we doing? Are we gonna do defense?
So let's go. We need to flip flop back.
Flip flop. So where are we going?
So let's go ahead and go defense. And you want to give our secondary?
Yes. So
we'll do our corners and safeties. Top 5 free safety, strong safeties.
We'll do that.
Corners.
Absolutely. So make sure you tune in next week. We'll have those ready for you guys, and he'll be wrong, I'll be right. Hopefully, it'll be my time.
Like I said, it's opinion again.
50-50.
His opinion.
I think Bo agreed with me.
I think Bo's like, dude, you're wrong.
I think Bo agreed with me. I'm going to have to go with that. But you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back with you guys next week.